Do you catch yourself saying hold on a whole lot more now?
Yeah, well, I think I was saying it just as much, but I
Mhm.
think I do say it more.
You realize it.
Oh, I
And you're
know.
like,
It's
I
like
need to tell my friends to listen to Hold On podcast. That's what I
it's
need to
like
do.
it's like I notice Honda Accords when I got one.
Oh yeah. I do that with my Versa. I'm like, hey, I feel like, like when people are riding motorcycles and they have a little hey sign that they do because they're
Yeah.
all riding motorcycles. I feel like if you are in the same vehicle as someone else, same color and stuff, that there should automatically be like a hey sign. Hey.
Hey, yeah. Welcome to Hold On, a podcast for parents and the people who love them. My name's Chad Poe.
And I'm Lydia McMillan, and we're so glad you're here. So, Chad, what is the word of the day?
It's the word of the day. Yeah, it's the word of the day. Oh, yeah. Word of the day. Yeah.
The word is anticipation. The definition of anticipate is to regard as probable, expect, or predict. Or, if you're into reading multiple definitions, to act as a forerunner or precursor of. And you may have noticed that in our episode, there are various jingles and stingers. We want you to know you can anticipate those from this point forward, thanks to our good friend Dave Frey from Sidewalk Profits.
Thanks, Dave. And it is with great anticipation, I expect new reviews each week. So thank you guys for taking the time to rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcast. Shout out this week goes to Joe the Terrible on Apple Podcast for this review. Love the combos, gave us 5 stars. I am in a place in my podcast listening life where I just want to hear people share stories and laugh. The world is too dang sad. Chad and Lydia are a breath of fresh air. Joe, you are not terrible. You are great. Thank you. And of course, we want to hear from more of you. So head over to Apple Podcasts to subscribe, rate, and review.
5 stars only. If you give us anything less, I predict that I will bounce that review from my reading.
So, Chad, this week we're talking about anticipation. I'm not like a big fan of like surprise, like over the top surprise. Like I anticipate things happening and I always have like a plan B, plan C, that kind of thing.
Is there an Enneagram number for that approach?
I mean, maybe a 1. Maybe a 1 is a perfectionist and likes everything to go their way and, whatever. I don't know.
That's what I hear.
I always anticipate like something happening and then, okay, well, if that doesn't go right, and then there's another, like B, C, D. What about you? Do you always anticipate things? Or you just like, whatever comes along. So I'm not anticipating anything. I don't know.
I function the best when I have a list to check things off of. Whenever I am listless, I'm kind of in a frenzy. That doesn't mean I don't operate in a frenzy at times, because I do, but I work better when I can expect whatever the next thing down the pipe is.
I asked a question on our Facebook group this week. What are some expectations when it comes to like ordering your burger? So I showed a picture of a burger and it had no toppings on it. And I said, give us the 4 best burger toppings. And people were listing all sorts of pimento cheese I saw. But some people said like only 2 or 3 ingredients, not even using all 4. When it comes to your anticipating the best burger, what comes to mind?
Well, it's not so much as anticipating the best, it's anticipating what I order. So, because most of the time I'm guessing that we get burgers from fast food places, not always, but that's kind of a thing, burger joints and such. Whenever I order a burger and I give specific toppings, and I'm pretty consistent to give my specific toppings, when I bite into it and there are things on that burger that I did not want there, it breaks the flow. It ruins the burger. It ruins the joy of eating a hamburger. It throws me off completely. My least favorite topping, I'm going to give you my least favorite topping.
Okay.
Mayonnaise. I think mayonnaise is the grossest. I don't understand why people eat it. I've been grossed out by mayonnaise since I was watching Oprah Winfrey when I was in high school, and she was making replicas or do-it-yourself versions of various things. She did a Frosty. She did KFC chicken. She did a do-it-yourself DIY version of, I believe it was Hellman's mayonnaise. So I watched that, oil and egg and the blend it together. That's basically what it is.
Yep.
And I thought I'll do it myself. So I did, and I've been grossed out by it ever since. I can't eat
You
now.
actually made it?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. No, I agree with you on the mayonnaise. I mean, sometimes I'll eat egg salad, and I know you don't eat eggs, so we won't talk about it too much. But for the most part, I don't do mayo, only because when I was a kid, we had a jar of mayonnaise. I was making something, but I saw the outer rim that, it is. It's so gross. So what? I think Chet's gonna die, y'all.
It's the grossest. I hate it.
What is the substitution for if you're gonna get a burger? Then what are you putting on it? That kind of, because I feel like that helps bring all the ingredients of the burger together, is some sort of stabilizer in a condiment that just, I don't know, is an extra layer of flavor that.
Well, sure. If you're ordering at a fast food place, you need something because the patty itself is going to be dry.
Yes.
I go with mustard. I'm a mustard guy.
Yep.
And as far as my vegetables, my friend Brian Jennings, he friend of the show. I think he's texted me about it. That's how we define friend of the show around here. He shared the other day on social media that he believes that lettuce, that we have to offer something better than lettuce, because what does lettuce really do? But if I'm getting a burger, I'm going mustard, lettuce, tomato, and cheese, because most places standard offer lettuce. I'll take bacon over lettuce because I'll take bacon over most things. But, if I'm going with 4 toppings, what about you?
Yeah, same exact 4 toppings, but knowing that 2 bites in, I'm going to take off the tomatoes because I don't like tomatoes. But I feel like I need to try to give it a good shot. Sometimes I'll get like halfway into the burger and I'm like, I never tasted a tomato. This is great. But I know that I need tomatoes in my life. So I do my best, but normally I pull them out.
You're grown up, Lydia. You don't have to do that.
I know, but it's a healthier way to get that ketchup tomatoey flavor, Weight Watchers, than to, but I'm also not eating like burgers. I had 1 burger the entire time that I've started Weight Watchers. And that's it. But I did put tomatoes on that sucker and I ate the whole thing. So it just depends.
Well, since you're confessing that you've eaten a burger on Weight Watchers, I'm going to make a confession.
Let's slow things down. Let's get real. It's time for confession.
You know this, but the listeners don't. My phone, I'm bad about turning off notifications when I download a new app. So I've had the Clubhouse app downloaded to my phone and I get notifications and it'll scroll down and I'm thinking, what am I being invited to? Because I also have a serious fear of missing out. And I have inadvertently joined multiple mommy groups since Clubhouse was introduced to me by you. And I got bounced out of them so fast. They kick you to the curb. They don't even wait for you to speak. They don't care. They're like, nope, that's a man. Get him out of here. But I did have my first Clubhouse experience the other day in a discussion of Christian pop culture. That was an experience. I did not know what to anticipate in this scenario. It was not what I expected, though. It was much different. And it took a serious turn. Yeah. Right as I was about to get off, I felt guilty. I thought I needed to tell people bye. I don't know the rules of this stuff yet. Do I need to let these folks know, hey guys, I'm leaving. If you have anything else to say to me, feel free to contact me through my Instagram DM or comment. I don't know. So but that happened. It's happened a couple times now, and it's odd.
I do love it because it'll notify you when someone joins the room that you're a friend with or you are following. And it's like Chad's in the room. And so I'll text Chad and be like, Chad, you're in a mom room again. But those mom rooms are pretty interesting. I mean, I just love all the mommy groups. They're such good friends now. I've made friends from people that are in Clubhouse. They're so great. But yes, that conversation we were having, I had anticipated that the conversation we were just going to be talking about, just like, I don't know, we started the conversation off by that new Netflix film that has a bunch of Christian music in it. And then we kind of started talking about Christian music, and someone jumped in that like had worked with a bunch of different bands during the 90s. And I was like, middle school Lydia was freaking out. I was so excited to talk about DC Talk and Newsboys and all the things. It was very exciting. So yeah.
And I did not care. I was grateful that he would share of his experiences. But wow. He was a youth pastor, and I believe that all these guys were up and comers when he was a youth pastor.
Yeah.
And he kind of talked through his them being at his church early on. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome. So when we talk about anticipating, I am so excited for the day when I am not in my house any longer and can take a break, take my children out and about and go do something with them. I think the first thing we're going to do, my grandmother, she just got her second vaccine. So we're going to go visit her at some point, maybe during the summer or something, go on a little vacay, go visit her. Yeah. Do you have went on a trip recently with your family, and you anticipated it going very well, and maybe some things didn't go as well. Do you want to tell us about that?
Sure. So I booked an Airbnb through Airbnb. That's how that works.
Okay.
And I found a super host. Looked great. The little, condo looked great.
Superhost means like they're reputable. They've got like some credentials.
4.9 stars or higher, I believe.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And so I booked, we're going to go out of town. We're going to go see SeaWorld, we're going to mask up for the day.
Free Willy.
And when we got to our condo or townhouse or whatever it was, I don't know San Antonio that well, and I ended up being in not the best part of town. Which fine, whatever. We can go in and stay. Get up the next morning. But we walked in, and I was brushing my teeth and freshening up after we'd had a great dinner. And I hear Hope say to my children calmly, "Get your stuff together. We're about to leave." And I thought to myself, man, I just brushed my teeth. We're going to go get ice cream, but I can do this again. However, while my kids were getting ready for bed, my 8-year-old daughter and my 5-year-old son opened a drawer, and there was drug paraphernalia in there.
Oh my goodness.
Like what looked to be, I am not a drug addict. I've been very pro Nancy Reagan. Just say no.
Yep.
But I've watched television, and it looked like heroin needles and a heated spoon. And what do I do? Hope said, take pictures of these items in context. I did not know what that meant, but I did. Kind of got it together. We had to go stay in a Hampton Inn or a Hilton for a couple of days.
Yeah.
It was wild.
That's crazy. I'm so glad they didn't like touch it or do anything.
I know. Because the boys were like, take the dirty spoon to mama. And because they don't know drug paraphernalia either.
No. We're going to take these kids through DARE. You remember the DARE program in the schools?
Oh, yes. I'm not sure if anybody that did DARE when I was a kid on the DARE team, I don't know if they graduated from it, but it was there. DARE.
Yep. Woo.
It was wild. That
is crazy.
It was so just for as far as adding to your vacation list,
Yes.
make sure that the place that you stay did not host a real world reunion party or anything like that.
These are my expectations when I go on vacation. Number 1, have a plan. Number 2, have a backup plan for when the plan doesn't go your way. Number 3, know the backup plan probably won't work and you need a third plan. And number 4, have a great time.
That was exhausting to listen to.
I just remember like when we would go on vacation a couple of times, like someone is going to get sick. That like always happens to us. So I always, like the last couple of vacations, I just looked up where where an urgent care would be because I just knew we were going to go there. One time I feel like we had gone to an urgent care that we had gone before. Like they may have had our credentials there because I'm like, oh, we've been here before. Because a lot of our vacations are like we go visit family, you know. But we've done ear infections. We did a lot of ear infections, and normally, you know, like seasonally during the winter time. Mm-hmm. There was one time I took both kids because they both were sick, ear infections. But we also have a lot of allergies. So one kid is allergic to penicillin, one kid is allergic to Zeftonir, and those are the typical, you know, medications you give them. So they're like, we don't know what to give them. We don't know what to do with these kids. I was like, I don't know what to do with these kids. We're just trying to celebrate Christmas with Gigi, you know? Whew.
Well, I don't look up those things. I look up TripAdvisor restaurants.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
And I look up what is the favorite local pizza place, the favorite local ice cream place. These are the things that I research. But we finally, you know, urgent cares, they're there. They're everywhere. You're going to find one.
Yeah, I feel like the last time we went on vacation, pre-Elsie, because 3 kids, and they're just so teeny and so little. You know this. It's just a lot to take the stroller and the car seats and all the toys and all the things. I went down to Chattanooga, and we had a really nice time. There's a lot of fun things to do in Chattanooga.
Great place.
And Josh ran, because he's a runner, he ran the Ragnar. So it's like him and a team are running different legs of the race. And they ran from Chattanooga to Nashville. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
That's an intense race.
Oh, yeah. And you don't run the whole time. It's a team and everyone takes legs. You take, off and on, you run the entire length of, from Chattanooga to Nashville or wherever you're running to.
Over a mountain, right? I think you ran over a mountain.
Yeah, there was. I don't know if that was his leg in particular, but we should invite him to the podcast and have him tell us.
We'll invite him for the running episode. My kids for the pet episode. They regularly ask. They are anticipating being on our pet episode.
We need to ask some questions about that. We need to do that for sure.
So last week you texted me and you said you were about to get your vaccination.
Yep.
I know there was some anxiety and anticipation going into that and coming out of that. Why don't you share with the good people?
Oh my goodness. So this is a Good Friday and coming into that Easter holiday, kids are off and actually this happened on Thursday. I call and I'm like ready to be put on a waiting list because I've been like, just like, okay, what do I do? And they're like, oh, we got an opening. We can get you in tomorrow. I was like, oh my goodness. So anyway, so I go, but there's not a lot of time. I was already kind of anxious about it. I'm worried about it. And I don't know, just all the feelings and all the things. Chad really loves that word.
Oh.
So I go and I feel pretty good. I'm just chatty with the people, being kind and gracious, and very thankful. And after the shot, I feel pretty good the next couple of hours, sore arm, that kind of thing. But man, it hit me that night and high fever, aches and chills, nausea, just the whole thing through Saturday into Sunday, just not feeling great. So yeah, but I'm on the up and up now. I'm feeling kind of good, but it's just not what you anticipate or expect when you think of like a holiday season. It's supposed to be joyful and joyous, and you're supposed to just enjoy everyone and love it. And you don't want to feel bad during.
You don't want to have the virus.
No, I don't want the virus and I don't want a shot reaction. That's never fun. And then you're like, how long is it going to be? And
Did
what
your
is this
arms
going
swell
to?
up? I've heard that some people have their arms swell up.
No, I don't think so. I never did an arm comparison. It was really, really sore. It still is pretty sore. But I mean, I am feeling better. But we're quarantining for Easter because there was an exposure at Finn's school. So I also got that call on Thursday. Or no, I got that call on Friday before I was supposed to go get my shot. So then I had to call and say, can I still get the shot? Because my kid's been exposed and now we have to stay quarantined for 2 weeks.
And they said, yes, you're good.
Yeah, both the doctor and the pharmacist said, go ahead and get that shot. Unless you're like showing symptoms, running a fever, beforehand. So I said, okay, let's do this thing. Yep. And so we just live the dream of quarantine Easter, home church.
The kids were out of town for Easter weekend. They went to spend that time with Mims and Pa.
Ah.
It was a different Easter, but it was good. We hung out and spent some time just catching up with friends in the area. It was a good day.
Awesome.
Good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you do an egg hunt at your house?
Yep. So we did one in the backyard. It probably lasted about 10 minutes. They're at the age where they can find stuff really quick. And Elsie's just like, this is like her first experience kind of knowing what to do with Easter egg. She's used to people giving her treats like at Halloween time. So for you to gotta go look for them, put them in your basket. She's like, can we just go trick or treat and you put it in there?
The kids went, that's good. The kids went to do the family Easter egg hunt outside.
Oh, what is that? You
Well,
gotta do it too?
The cousins, no, I wasn't there. Remember, the cousins get together. There's a prize egg, and there is, different levels. There's an adult egg hunt. They are very serious about this. They've done it for years. Shepherd wanted to participate in the children's egg hunt. He wanted to get candy, and they wouldn't let him. They made him hunt for the $100 egg. What kid doesn't want to? I don't understand. How spoiled are you? You can go look for that egg and pay my phone bill.
I want to be a part of an adult Easter egg hunt where there's money involved. That sounds like a lot of fun.
In Lake Jackson, the community where I live, on non-COVID years, they have a huge egg hunt, an egg grab, where they put the eggs like on this huge baseball field. They hit the alarm and everyone rushes the field to get eggs. At my church in Chattanooga, we used to have a big egg hunt. With the varying fields where there's a children's field and a toddler field. I remember on the toddler field one year, there was a mother and she had her baby stroller. It was one of the baby strollers, baby. And right before they sounded the horn to start the contest, she handed the baby to her husband, and she herself, a grown woman, took off sprinting across this field, competing with children 2 years and under, and was just throwing eggs in her basket.
No.
I don't know who wants a Hershey's Kiss that much.
No. Wait till tomorrow when they're half off at Target.
I tried to go pick up some half off Cadbury eggs for myself the other day on Sunday because, the end of the children being gone was upon us. And I thought, I'm going to have some Cadbury eggs tonight. Do you know that they did not have things half price at 5:00 in the afternoon on Easter Sunday?
No way.
Ridiculous.
Easter Bunny is still clocked in. Not until
they were also out of chocolate bunnies because I looked for one of those too. I was
Did you go to Walgreens?
Huh? Yes.
Did you go to Walgreens?
I did look at Walgreens. That's where the problem was. CVS and Walgreens had nothing.
Yeah, and I don't like it that immediately, like at Target, the food and candy is not immediately discounted as much as all the other Easter accoutrements. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get an Easter basket and you can get Easter like bunny ears and you can get all of these things, but the candy is never like that'll go to 75% off, but the candy's still at 50% off. And I'm like, why are we holding on to the candy? The candy's going to go bad. Just give us the candy.
That's all we're here for.
That's all we are here for.
You gotta grab, yeah, and then you go. That's right, because it's the name of this segment, the grab and go.
For us, as we talk about, what we expect and what we anticipate and preparing and predicting, we do have to keep in mind that when things don't go your way, that's not necessarily bad. Lydia, as you've spent time in the scriptures, what are some things that come to mind for you in regard to that?
Yeah, in Proverbs, where it says, Proverbs 3:5-6, where it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. That what stands out to me is do not lean on your own understanding. So many times me as a planner, I'm like, this is how I planned it. This is how I want it to go. And the Lord is quick to say, stop trusting in yourself. I've asked you to trust in me. You're not going to do this right. Stop trying to make it happen. Or I'm like, okay, Lord, this is the plan. Bless it. And he's like, that's not my plan. Please stop.
I think of when we read in the book of Ephesians where Paul talks about there's this God who we trust and this God who Christians believe in, this God who has revealed himself to us in the flesh, in the person of Jesus. Mm-hmm. Paul says this, now to him who is able to do far more abundantly than all that we ask or think, according to the power at work within us. To him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and forever. Our asking and our thinking are limited, and the God who we worship is limitless, not in the way that Bradley Cooper was limitless in that movie, in the actual way that this God is all powerful and we can trust in his all knowingness, and God is always at work. And it's something for us to know, to believe. And we should. This doesn't mean you shouldn't plan. It doesn't mean you shouldn't anticipate. It doesn't mean you shouldn't project or predict. It just means that when things don't go the way that we want them to go, it doesn't mean that things have gone wrongly. God is working things out for the good of those who love him and who are called according to his purpose, according to Paul in the book of Romans chapter 8. Lydia, this has been a fun conversation, talking about anticipation, talking about expectation, talking about prediction. And I would love to predict that our friends are going to share about our podcast with their friends. Can you tell them where they can find us on social media?
Yes. So we are at Hold On Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. We are at Hold On Pod on Facebook. And we've got our Facebook group where we're asking a lot of questions and hanging out and having a lot of fun. So we hope to see you there.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.